What is constructor? Constructor is a special method which has same name as a class name and which has no return type. Once again, give me answer. Constructor is a special method which has same name as a class name and which has no return type. Okay. What is the purpose of constructor? To initialize instance variables. Constructor when it is called? Whenever object is created. How many types of constructors? 2 types. What are those? Default constructor means? Parameter constructor means? Can we write both the constructors in one class? That concept is called constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. Which constructor Java compiler implicitly provides? Default constructor. When it will provide? If there is no other constructor, then only provides. Always it will not provide. Okay. Now, last class, that initialization program you studied. Say class name employee year. Now I'll ask some questions. Give me answer. 5 employees data I want to maintain. 100 students data I want to maintain. 5 employees data and 100 students data. Then how many classes we have to create? How many? 2 classes. 5 employees data purpose 1 class. 100 students data purpose 1 more class. Now 2 classes you have to create. Employees purpose 1 class, students purpose 1 class. Writing main method in employee class better or student class better or any other class better? Which one? Other class. Because that main method required for employee class also, student class also. Instead of writing in employee and student, write separate class. That's what I written separate class. Last class program. So it is employee class. It is main method purpose 1 more class, demo class. Now both you can write in a 1 class also possible. But why I written separate is like that. In real time, always will write main method class separate. That's what I written. Okay. Here, integer employee number, float, salary. These are which type of variables? Instance variables. Why we selected as instance variable employee number and salary? Different values. Different values. If I write like this, is it assignment or initialization? Initialization. Okay. Now, employee E1 equal to new employee. Employee E2 equal to new employee. System.out.println E1.employee number /t E1.salary. System.out.println E2.employee number /t plus E2.salary. Now, this line is valid or not valid? But there is no default constructor. How it is valid? Compiler implicitly provides. That's what it is valid. Okay. Now, demo class loaded, main method called, objects created, memory allocated to instance variables. 2 objects are there, 2 copies created, 2 copies data printed. File, save. So the file is available in E drive. That's what I'll go to E drive. Java C demo.java. Java demo. This is first you have seen. This program you have seen. Last class first program. Here, are you getting different values? No. So this is not the right way to initialize if more than one object is there. That's what I did. I given like this. Now here integer, employee number, float, salary. These are which type of variables? Local variable. We can call it as method parameters. We can also call local variable. Local variable name, instance variable name, same. How to access instance variable? This dot employee number equal to employee number. This dot salary equal to salary. Now, is it initialization or assignment? Last class only I taught. Is it initialization or assignment? Initialization. Because when memory allocated, when our object is created, when this constructor called, while memory allocating only these values are stored, no? So it is called initialization. It is initialization. Now, is this line is valid in this program? Is this line is valid in this program? No. Why it is not valid? It calls default constructor. Is there any default constructor? No. Will it Java compiler provides? Why it will not provide? Already one constructor is there. Not valid. Now 101, comma 5000. Here 102, 6000. Is it valid? Yes. Compilation, execution. Are you getting different value? This is the right way to initialize. It is the right way to initialize. Now, one more program I given. Here, method name, something set I given. Void set. Now, when these two lines executed, whenever object is created, is it executed while creating object? No. So, is it initialization or assignment? It is assignment. Okay. Now, this line is valid or not valid? In this program, this line is valid or not valid? Not valid. Why it is not valid? There is no parametered constructor. Will it Java compiler provides? No, it is not valid. Okay. So I'll write like this. Is it valid now? Here E1 dot set 101, 5000. E2 dot set 102, 6000. Is it valid? You are getting different output. Okay. Now, actually, we required different values. That is the reason only we selected employee number and salary as a instance variables. That is the reason only we selected. You have seen three programs last class. First program without constructor. Okay. Second program with constructor. Third program with method. That is three programs you have seen. Now, instance employee number and salary we selected as an instance variable to get different values. With this first example, are you getting different value? No. With second example? Yes. Third example? Yes. So, required output you are getting with second example, with third example. Required output you are not getting with first example. Okay. Now, second and third, both are same or different? Different. Second and third, what's the difference? Second is a initialization. Third is a assignment. Okay. First and second, if we compare concept same, initialization, but output different. Second and third, if you compare, output same, concept different. Okay, but required output you are getting in second and third. Output is the most important. Output is wrong, project is no outdated. Okay, first output only important, later concept. Now second one you are getting required output, third one you are getting required output. Okay, second one also you are getting required output, third one also you are getting required output. Second is a initialization, third is a assignment. Okay, second is initialization, third is assignment. But second one I used constructor, third one I used method. That means if I write constructor, initialization, if I write method, assignment. That means there is a difference, assignment and initialization. There is a difference between constructor and method. Okay, that is I'll explain. Now, generally what you'll think is output only you'll think. It can be initialization or it can be assignment, whatever it may be. At last we are getting output. Okay, generally every student will think like that only. Only always he'll concentration on output only. What task given, what is required output, according to that they'll bring the output. At last they'll bring the output. First of all, student concentration only on output. They have to bring the output, that concept whatever it may be. But in Java application, in internet applications, output not only output. You need to concentrate on so many things. Memory also you have to concentrate. Output also you have to concentrate. And the downloading time also you have to concentrate. And the performance also you have to concentrate. So many things will be there. So many characteristics will be there. Time also, money also, everything you have to concentrate. That type will be there further while developing real-time applications. Now, here, initialization required. What you have to write? Constructor. Assignment required. What you have to write? Method. That is, but both the cases you are getting same output. Both the cases you are getting same output. Now, I'll ask questions. Give me answer. With that, you'll get a more clarity. Integer x equal to 10. Is it initialization or assignment? Again, integer x equal to 20. Is it initialization? Is this line is valid or not valid? Valid or not valid? Not valid. Initialization 2 times not possible. This is valid. This statement is valid. This statement is error. Okay. Suppose integer x. What is this? Declaration. X equal to 10. Again x equal to 20. Assignment. This line also valid. This line also valid. This line also valid. Now, again x equal to 30. Is it valid or not valid? X equal to 40. N number of times you can assign. But initialization, how many times? Only one time. Initialization not possible more than once. One time only possible. But assignment n number of times possible. Now, here, after calling this one, same object reference E1 dot set 105, 10,000 or 1 lakh. Is it valid or not valid this line? Valid or not valid? Now, here object created, memory allocated. Here I written E1 dot set. Here again E1, E2, E1 dot set. E1 dot set. Valid or not valid? Valid. E1 dot set, E1 dot set, 100 times also call. Valid. But what will happen? 101 modified as 105. 5,000 modified as 1 lakh. Okay. So, assignment n number of times possible. Method calling n number of times possible. But constructor only one time whenever object is created. While creating object only, memory allocated, called. Second time if you want to call, not possible. Second time if you want to call, one more object you have to create. One more object. With that object, not possible. But assignment with the same object 100 times also call. Works. Now, in real-time application, constructor and method, what is the difference? I'll explain. Now with constructor also you are getting same output. With method also you are getting same output. Okay. Now one small example. Suppose it's on application, real-time application. This is will study in advanced Java class. It is online results program. Okay. In that, what is the importance of constructor and method? I'll explain. It is online results application. Generally, what you will do? First, you'll open this page. Here, you will enter hall ticket number 1001. You will click on submit button. Then your hall ticket number received by this program. Okay. This program communicates with database. It will check hall ticket number is there or not in the database. It is there. This data loaded in this page transferred to browser. Okay. Say you will enter hall ticket number in a results application, online results. You will enter hall ticket number, you will click submit button. Then your hall ticket number passed to server program. Server program will communicate with database to check given hall ticket number is there or not in database. If it is there, the data loaded, that output transferred to browser. Now one more hall ticket number comes, again communicates with database. It will check hall ticket number, data loaded, again pass it. One more hall ticket number comes. Every hall ticket number, it is going to check whether hall ticket number is there or not in database. If it is there, data loaded, it is passed. If it is not there, invalid hall ticket number message. Now, here, server to database connection, how many times required? Checking hall ticket number, how many times required? Now, 1 minute. Now, you will enter hall ticket number. You will click on submit button. Server will communicate with database to check given hall ticket number is there or not. If it is there, loaded, passed. Every hall ticket number, it will check in database like that. Now, between server and database, connection establishment, how many times required? And checking hall ticket number, how many times required? One time or many times like that. Checking first connection establishment, how many time required? One time. Checking hall ticket number, one time or many time? Many times. First, that is clear, no? Server program and database connection should be established. Between server program and database connection should be established. Listen. You are concentrating on mobiles. No. Because otherwise you cannot understand. What is the output you are getting same, but what's the difference between constructor and method? Assignment, initialization, whatever it may be, you are getting same output. Like that only thing, no? Then how much importance is there? I'm explaining. But this is not comes in core Java, again in advanced Java. Up to that, can you remember? You'll forget. Within a 1 week only, you'll forget. If you don't listen with more concentration. All not possible to learn immediately. It takes time to learn this type of application. But for this one, core Java compulsory. At the time, constructor record or method record also people are not selecting properly. It's happening. Now, between server and database, connection establishment, how many times required? One time or many times? One time. Checking hall ticket number in a database, one time or many times? First, that is clear, no? Now, here, connection establishment, one time enough. Once if it is connected, n number of times can communicate. So, once if the connection is established, n number of times it can communicate with database. N number of times. So, connection establishment, one time required. Checking hall ticket number, many times required. Now, constructor, for one object, how many times called? Method, multiple times, n number of times. Now, connection establishment code in a constructor you have to write or method you have to write? Constructor you have to write. Okay. And checking hall ticket number in a method or constructor? Method. Suppose you observe. It's on class. Class name result. Okay. Year. Result. Result is a constructor. Here I'll write some code. This is a code, connection establishment code. Now one method, like result, suppose integer marks, otherwise integer array, because many marks are there. C language, C++, Java. So get result. Array is not completed. Just after this concept only arrays comes. Square brackets not completed. No, that is I'll explain. Here we'll write some code. Here some hall ticket number will pass. Integer hall ticket number. Like here we'll write some code. You observe. Now this code is connection establishment code. Connection establishment code. Okay. This code is checking hall ticket number. Otherwise just task code. Now connection establishment code I'm writing in the constructor, and get result with this hall ticket number, whatever result is there, all result, C language marks, C++ marks, Java marks, all as a returns. Square brackets means many values comes. Now task code will write. Now checking hall ticket number I'm writing here, connection establishment I'm writing here. First what I'll do, result r equal to new result, object created, then constructor called, connection established, r dot get result, one hall ticket number I'll pass. Okay, like this, r dot get result, one more hall ticket number I'll pass, r dot get result, one more hall ticket number I'll pass. Like this, a number of times you can call. No, now in this line constructor executed, then connection established. In these three lines method called. Okay, like this we'll write. Connection one time required. That's what I written in the constructor. Checking hall ticket number many times required. That's what I written in a method. Suppose, assume this code also I'll write in the method. That code also I'll write in a method. Then what will happen? Suppose instead of writing constructor, complete code I am writing in a method only. What will happen? Give me answer. Connection established for every request. Every hall ticket number it is established multiple times. Okay. Got in my point? Whatever you written the code in the constructor, that code if you write in a method, every hall ticket number first connection established, later check hall ticket number checked. Every request, every hall ticket number connection. After that checking. But time wasted. No? Time wasted. No? One time enough connection. Many times communication possible. Time wasted. Okay. Memory wasted. Process wasted. Object wasted. Object reference wasted. Many things wasted. That's what you should not write this code inside the method. Okay. Suppose instead of writing like this code I'll write in a constructor. Then what will happen? Only one hall ticket number, connection established, hall ticket number returned. Second hall ticket number not possible. Then again you have to create object. Many objects you have to create. Every object constructor called. That's what separate object you have to create. That is also problem. Constructor code if you write in a method. Constructor code if you write in a method. What will happen? Multiple times connection established. Memory wasted, process wasted, time wasted, everything wasted. Okay. Performance will decrease. Suppose whatever you are writing in a method, that is if you write in a constructor, one time only called. One more time if you want to call, one more object you have to create. Every hall ticket number object you have to create. That is also memory wasted. Many objects you have to create. So constructor code in a method code in a constructor, if you write, many problems will occur. But now what will think? It can be constructor or method. We are getting same output. Like that only thing, no? In future, you'll face the problem. Constructor place method, method place constructor if you write. Okay. In a constructor, initialization code you have to write. In a method, task code you have to write. By mistake, initialization code in the method if you write, it is not called initialization, assignment. By mistake, task code if you write in a constructor, one time executed. That is the problem. So, methods are used to perform the task. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. Now, you want to initialize instance variables. Then what do you write? Constructor. By mistake, if you write in a method, is it called initialization? No, that is called assignment. Task purpose, which one you write? Method. If you write in a constructor, only one time executed. Then every task, every request, you have to create object. Like that also memory wasted. But writing possible, output possible. In both the cases, same output you can bring. Possible. But memory wasted, process wasted, time wasted, these all will be done. These all will be happen. Okay. That's what you have to take care. Writing possible, but don't write. Writing possible, don't write. That is your mistake. But program successfully compiled, successfully executed. You are getting required output also. Okay. Constructor only, method only. Use constructor for initialization. Use method for task. Initialization part, if you write in the method, it will become assignment. Task code, if you write in the constructor, one time only called. Again, one more time, one more object you have to create. Is it clear? Now, here, employee number salary initializing. Later, connection code initialized. Connection establishment also initialization. Not only employee number, name, salary, student roll number, name, marks. Further, connection establishment also called initialization. Initialization means not only employee number, name, salary. Core Java, you learn like this. Advanced Java, connection comes. Okay, that is real-time application. But in core Java, only real-time not possible. First, you should understand concepts, no? Starting, welcome program time onwards, real-time, people will ask. How it is possible? Real-time? Immediately not possible. You should learn subject first. Later, real-time possible. Okay? Now, here, first you should understand the difference between constructor and method. Okay? Later, you can utilize properly. See, you studied already. Instance variable place class variable. Class variable place instance variable. If you write many problems, you studied. Like that only here also. Okay? Now, I want to initialize instance variable. What we have to write? Constructor. If I write method, what will happen? It will become assignment. It will become assignment. Task purpose, what we have to write? Method. If you write in a constructor, that code, what will happen? Only one time called. That is the problem. So, whatever you are writing in the constructor, that is you can write in method, but it will become assignment. Whatever you are writing in the method, that is you can write in the constructor, but one time executed. But don't write. Writing possible, don't write. For example, it is water bottle. Okay, it is water bottle. Filling petrol possible or not? Possible. Once if you fill petrol, next time can you take drinking water? Over. That will be a water bottle becomes petrol bottle. Okay. Next time can you take drinking water? No. Suppose one bottle meant for petrol. Okay. In that bottle, filling water possible or not? Possible. Can you drink? Water bottle only, petrol bottle only. Okay. But here also filling petrol possible, there also filling water possible. But don't fill. Like that. Okay. So this is meant for water, use for water. That is meant for petrol, use for petrol. But in that filling water possible, in this filling petrol possible. But don't fill. Here also, whatever you are writing in the constructor, writing in a method possible, but don't write. Whatever you are writing in the method, writing possible in constructor, but don't write. Got your point? Clear? So, writing possible, don't write. Writing possible, don't write. Okay? Now, the difference between constructor and method, note down. Differences between constructor and method. Differences between constructor and method. One side constructor, one more side method. Differences between constructor and method. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name and which has no return type. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name and which has no return type. Here, a group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name and which has no return type. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. Constructor definition, method definition. Okay. A constructor is a special method which has same name as the class name and which has no return type. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as methods. Say statements, if we group together as a one unit, that is called method. There we'll write task and initialization purpose we use, that is constructor, but same name should be required because while creating object it is called. That's what same name required. Next, write it. Constructor is called automatically whenever an object is created. Constructor is called automatically whenever an object is created. Method is not called automatically. Method can be called explicitly after creating an object. Method can be called explicitly after creating an object. So after creating object, method you can call. After creating an object. Constructor is called only one time for one object. Method can be called any number of times for one object. Constructor is called only one time for one object. Method can be called any number of times for one object. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. Methods are used to perform the task. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. Methods are used to perform the task. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. Methods are used to perform the task. So like that only you have to select. While writing task code, use method. While initializing, use constructor. Like that you select. Okay. Is it completed? What is constructor? A constructor is a special method which has same name as a class name and which has no return type. Even void also we cannot write. Void also we cannot write. Without returning value means void. But here without return type, void also we should not write. Void also on type. Void also should not write. Okay. What is method? A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. Okay. When constructor is called? It is called automatically. Method is called automatically? No. How to call? Explicitly we have to call after creating an object. After creating an object, you have to call. Okay. Constructor, how many times called for one object? One time. Method? Many times. Any number of times you can call. Many times. Constructor, what purpose? Method, what purpose? To perform the task. Now, I'll ask some more questions. Give me answer. Otherwise, you may forget. See. Now, in this program, I written method. In this program, I written method. This line is valid or not valid? This line. Valid or not valid? Valid. Okay. Now, is it initialization or assignment? Now, here what is the initial value? What is the initial value? That 0 who will initialize? Which one? Default constructor. But where is default constructor? Java compiler implicitly provides. Now this value 0. The 0 initialization given by default constructor. That is implicitly present. Okay. Suppose here employee I am writing. Okay. Here employee I am writing. Is this line is valid? Not valid. Now, is this line is valid? Valid. Now, what is the initial value for this now? What is the initial value? 101. That 101 given by parametered. Are you getting 0 here? No, because there is no default constructor. So, even if you don't use constructor, constructor is there. That constructor will give 0. If you don't use constructor in your program, default constructor will be there. That constructor will give 0. If you write a method, that will give 101 later. That's the reason. That is assignment. This is initialization. Now, for this one, 0 will not be provided. Because now is there any default constructor? No, it is not there. Even I didn't write. Will it compiler provides? No, because already parameter constructor is there. This is executed. Whatever will given by this one, that value first. That is the initial value. Okay. Now these two values are initialized. These two values are initialized with helping of parametered constructor. Now in this case, because there is no default constructor. Okay. Suppose if I write like this, these two values are initialized with default constructor. But where is default constructor? Implicitly provided. That will provide 0, 0.0. Is it clear? Remember, again, after a few days, again it come this concept. At that time, I'll ask, you have to give the answer. Based on this one, only some questions will be there further while teaching inheritance. Okay? Remember, about constructor. Next, note. Initialization block. Now, first block, just block, write it, block. Block. A group of statements between open brace and close brace is called as block. A group of statements between open brace and close brace is called as block. A group of statements between open brace and close brace is called as block. See, just to open brace, close brace, in between if you write something, that is nothing but block. A block is also called as an initialization block, because block also can be used to initialize instance variables. A group of statements between open brace and close brace is called as block. A block is also called as an initialization block, because block also can be used to initialize instance variables. A group of statements between open brace and close brace is called as block. A block is also called as an initialization block, because block also can be used to initialize instance variables. I'll explain. A class can have any number of blocks, and all those blocks are executed from top to bottom order whenever an object is created. A class can have any number of blocks, and all those blocks are executed from top to bottom order whenever an object is created. A class can have any number of blocks, and all those blocks are executed from top to bottom order whenever an object is created. Next point, blocks are executed before constructor only. Blocks are executed before constructor only. What are these? Every point I'll explain with coding. See, if you write statements between open brace and close brace, that is called block. It is also called initialization block. Reason, it is also used to initialize instance variable. And blocks also executed whenever object is created. Constructor executed whenever object is created. And you can write n number of blocks from top to bottom order executed. And blocks are executed before constructor only. Suppose if you write block and constructor, then first block executed, later constructor executed. Okay. Now, these all with coding I'll explain. Is it completed? See, you already studied when memory allocated to instance variables, whenever object is created. When constructor is called, whenever object is created. When blocks are executed. So while creating object only, memory allocated to instance variables, blocks executed, constructor executed. These all executed at a time. At a time, all executed. Okay. Now, see, open brace, close brace. Here, system.out.println block. Now I written like this. See, a group of statements, this type of statements, if you group together between open brace and close brace, that is called block. That is called block. A block is also called as an initialization block. Suppose if I write int a, is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? Instance variable. When memory allocated? When block is executed? If I write a equal to 10, is it assignment or initialization? Again, what is happened? When this block executed, whenever object is created. When memory allocated to instance variable, creating time only as value stored. That concept is called initialization. It is not assignment. It appears like a assignment. It is initialization. Whenever memory allocated, then only 10 stored. Because both are executed same time. That's what it is called initialization. Okay. Now you observe like this. You can write n number of statements between open brace and close brace. That is called block. A group of statements between open brace and close brace is called as block. A block is also called as an initialization block, because block also can be used to initialize instance variable. Int a. This is which type of variable? Instance variable. When memory allocated? When this block is executed? Whenever object is created. So if I write like this, is it initialization or assignment? Because it is also executed whenever object is created. That is the reason it is called initialization. For you, it appears like a declaration. It appears like a assignment, but it is called initialization. Appears like a assignment, not assignment. Initialization. That is only confusion. Like starting you will learn. That is called declaration. This is called assignment. You will learn. But here both at a time executed. No? That means it appears like a 2 lines. It is nothing but 1 line. That's what it is, initialization. This is only confusion. It appears like a declaration. It appears like a assignment, but it is not declaration and assignment. Reason, this memory allocated whenever object is created. This concept, this block executed whenever object is created. So this line at a time executed. That's what it is called initialization. Okay. That's what this block is called as initialization block also. Now you observe, this is initialization block. This is instance variable. This variable, how many ways to access? What are those? Object reference. Now here, is it valid or not valid? Valid or not valid? How it is valid? Where is object reference or object? Either object or object reference required to access, no? How it is valid? Implicitly, this keyword. Implicitly, this keyword. Will it this keyword implicitly present in instance method, class method, initialization block? That is present. This dot. Say, if you open mouth, if you give answer, you will remember subject. If you don't give answer, you'll forget. That will be happen. But all are not following. That is your wish. My duty I'm doing. Your duty you have to do. Okay. Right or wrong, you check it out. Then only believe. 2 days open mouth. 2 days don't open mouth. You see the difference. Then believe my word. Then believe. Okay. If you open mouth, if you give answer, you'll remember subject. Otherwise, you'll forget subject. And also, you observe what are the questions repeatedly I'm asking. Those all remembered. Those questions I'm not asking repeatedly. That is your forgetting. Right or wrong, you check it out. Then only believe. My every word is fact. Right or wrong, check. After checking, only believe. Okay. Now, it is which type of variable? Instance variable. How many ways to access? What are those? Is this line is valid? But where is object? Object reference? Implicitly. Implicitly, object or object reference? Object reference. Where is what is that object reference? This. Where is this? Implicitly this. That's not valid. Okay. Now, can I write more than one block? Yes. I'll write here also. System.out.println. Suppose block 2. Suppose this is block 1. Now, if I write when blocks are executed, whenever object is created. If I write like this, is it object created? This type of object is called anonymous object. We can also call unreferenced object. Okay. Now, new demo object created. Now, memory allocated to instance variable. We don't have instance variable. Next, blocks. Blocks. How many blocks are there? What is output comes? Block 1. Why block 1, block 2? Top to bottom order. Already notes are given. Top to bottom order. First this is executed. Next this is executed. Okay. Top to bottom order. First block 1. Next block 2. See. File. Save. If I compile. If I execute. See, block 1, block 2. Okay. Now, what I'll do is, I'll write one constructor also. System.out.println something constructor. Now, what will be the output? Block 1, block 2, constructor. After blocks, only constructor. File, save. Compilation, execution. Block 1, block 2, constructor. But when constructor executed, when block executed, okay, blocks executed same time, constructor executed same time. Okay. Now, why do we need these blocks? I'll explain. Just write this one. Just write this program. Example. Why do we need this block? I'll explain. Is it over? How many blocks are there? Two blocks and one constructor. Here, constructor also executed whenever object is created. Blocks also executed whenever object is created. Okay. But which one executed first? Blocks. Blocks also top to bottom order. Top to bottom a number of you can write. After that, constructor. What is the output of this program? Block 1, block 2, constructor. Now you observe when constructor executed, when block is executed, whenever object is created, block executed, whenever object is created, constructor executed. Whatever you want to write while creating object, that code you can write in the block also, that code you can write in the constructor also. But instead of construct block, we can go for constructor. Okay. Now, then whatever you are writing in a block, that code you can write in the constructor or not? Possible or not? Possible. But constructor, how many types? Constructors. Two types. What are those? Default constructor, parameter constructor. Okay. Now, if you want to pass parameters, possible. But can you pass any parameter to block? No. Then instead of using blocks, you can go for constructors. Whatever is possible with block, that is possible with constructor or not? Whatever is possible with constructor, is it possible with block? No, because we cannot pass parameters. Okay. Now, blocks executed whenever object is created. Constructor executed whenever object is created. Both are executed same time. Both are executed same time. But whatever is possible with block, that is possible with constructors. But whatever is possible with constructor, that is not possible with block. That's what blocks are not in use. It is only first program, it is only last program. Further not required. Okay. But why this program also, if it is not required? Suppose sometimes in written tests like this, they'll give. What student will think, before this line, one line is missed, they'll think. That is also one concept is there in Java. What they'll think is either method declarator or constructor declarator missed, they'll think. But it is also one concept is there in Java. That is the reason one program I explained. Otherwise, what students will write, it is error they'll write. Or something is missed or printing mistake happened, like that they'll think. Sometimes they may give this type of assignment exam also. This type of question also may comes in exam. That is the reason one program. Okay, otherwise this is not required. In real time, we won't use. Okay. Whatever you are writing in a block, that is possible with constructor. Use constructor only. That's what blocks are not in use. Blocks are not in use. Okay. Next, static block. That is required. That is important. Next, static blocks. Next heading, static blocks. A block with static keyword is called as static block. A block with static keyword is called as static block. A block with static keyword is called as static block. Static block can also be called as static initialization block. Because static block can be used, can also be used, can be used to initialize see here block A block is also called as an initialization block because block also can be used to initialize instance variable. But here static block only will initialize. Static block can also be called as static initialization block because static block can be used to initialize static variables, nothing but class variables. A class can have any number of static blocks and all those static blocks are executed from top to bottom order. A class can have any number of static blocks and all those static blocks are executed from top to bottom order whenever class is loaded. A class can have any number of static blocks and all those static blocks are executed from top to bottom order whenever class is loaded. Whenever class is loaded, main method also called. So static blocks are executed before main method only. Static blocks are executed before main method only. So that concept, this concept, just only static keyword different writing program. But it is called static initialization block. Static variable can be initialized, nothing but class variables. Non-static is called instance variable. Static is called class variable. Why it is called instance variable is always object required. Here object is not required. That's what class variable. Like that we are calling. But both will write in a class only. Static variable also inside the class. Instance variable also inside the class. Is it completed? See, a block with static keyword is called as static block. So whatever you studied just now, block. For that, just one at keyword if you attach, it is called static block. Static block can also be called as an static initialization block because static block can be used to initialize class variables, static variables. You can write n number of static blocks, top to bottom order, whenever class is loaded. You already studied execution priority. What is execution priority? Class variables, static blocks. That is studied, no? That is you are learning today. That static concept already, static variable completed, main method completed. That is your learning. Main method, passing argument, these are not completed. Static method completed. Static blocks are executed before main method only. See, suppose this is called, what is this? Block. It is called block. It is called static block. A block with static keyword is called as static block. A block with static keyword is called as static block. Okay. Just one static keyword if you attach, that is called static block. But static block can also be called as static initialization block. See, for example, static integer x equal to 10. It is called class variable. It is called initialization. But you can also write like this. It is called initialization. So if you write even equal to 10 also, who will initialize this? Static block only will initialize. That's what, if you write like this also, both are same. This line is executed whenever class is loaded. This static block executed whenever class is loaded. Both are executed same time while allocating memory only value stored. That's what initialization. While allocating value stored means initialization. Later stored means assignment. Okay. Now you can also write like this. That's what it is called static initialization block. So now this is called static block. But these static blocks also n number of we can write. N number of top to bottom order executed. Now even object also no need to create. It is called static blocks are executed whenever class is loaded. See, if I execute this program, demo class loaded. First, it will search for static variables. Is there any static variable? Next, top to bottom. First this is. Next this is. After that, main method. Suppose here also one message I'll write. System.out.println main method. Okay. File. Save. What will be the output? Static block 1, static block 2, main method. See. Compilation. Execution. Say static block 1, static block 2, main method. But here, now your doubt is, just now you studied blocks. Whatever you are writing in the block, that is, can I write in constructor? Whatever we are writing in a block, that is, can we write in a constructor? Yes. Whatever you are writing in a constructor, that is, can we write in a block? No. So whatever is possible with block, that is possible with constructor. Instead of using block, you can go for constructor. But here, whatever we are writing in the static block, that is, you can write in the main method. No? When main method called? When our class is loaded. When static block executed? Whatever you are writing in the block, static block, that is, you can write in the main method. But present main method is there. Future main method will not be there. Because these programs now we are running under operating system. Main compulsory. Later we'll run program. This type of programs will run in server. At the time main will not be there. In that situation we use static block. Okay, we can use. If any, while loading a class only, if you want any task, that is main method will not be there in that program. At that time we have to use static block. That's what static blocks are in use. It is not outdated. It is in use. I'll explain. I'll give notes. First you write this example. Is it completed? When static blocks are executed, whenever class is loaded. When main method executed, whenever class is loaded. So while loading a class, if any task required, that task you can write in the static block also, main method also, both the places valid. But further what will happen, main method will not be there in the programs. In that situation, we can use static block. That is notes I'll give. Note. Static blocks are used to load libraries. Static blocks are used to load libraries in real-time applications. Static blocks are used to load libraries in real-time applications. Static blocks are used to load libraries in real-time applications. Static blocks are used to load libraries in real-time applications. See, if you want to load any library, so whatever required to develop application, that library we can load with static block. That purpose we use. The application requires some Java libraries. If the application requires any other libraries, that part before starting your task only required. While loading a class only, it should be loaded. At the time, we'll write. Okay. See, you studied these all. I'll ask questions, give me answer. How many object-oriented principles are there? What is first one? Second one? Third one? Once again, first one? Encapsulation. Second one? Okay, give condition. I'm asking 1, 2, 3, 4. Just wait. Now, first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Okay, these 4 principles. If you want to use these 4 principles, what we record? Class and object. Still principles not yet started, you observe. These many days, class and object only you studied. Okay, what is class? Collection of variables and methods. What is an object? Instance of a class. Okay, these all. How many types of variables? What are those? No, methods. Instance methods, class methods, special methods. Nothing but constructors. Okay. See, if I write this one, which variable? If I write this one, if I write method, is it which method? If I write method like this, class method. If I write this one, if I write like this, if I write only open brace, close brace, if I write static open brace, close brace, static initialization block, static block. Okay. See, instance variable, class variable, instance method, class method, default constructor, parameter constructor, block, static block. These all we can write in a class. But maximum times what we use is variables, methods. Maximum times. And sometimes we use constructor. But blocks and static blocks we don't use. Static blocks, very rare situation we use. So maximum times instance methods, variables methods compulsory. Every day required. Variable method compulsory. Okay. No, it is called instance variable. It is called class variable. It is called instance method. It is called class method. It is constructor, default constructor. It is parameter constructor. It is block. It is static block. These all we are writing in a one class. Okay. Now, four principles are there: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. If you want to learn principles, first of all, you require class and object. That class and object part you studied. Okay, that about class, about object, very depth you studied. But whatever I taught, these all remember. Don't forget. Now, in this whatever I taught, some questions randomly I'll ask, give answer. Okay, randomly I'll ask. What is this? Object reference or reference variable. Why we are calling object reference or reference variable? Because it refers object. Which object? Current object. Current object. This dot for variables and methods. We can access through this dot variables and methods. This dot, will it come implicitly in the instance method, class method, initialization block, static initialization block, constructor? Yes. Okay. Now, this dot, when we have to write explicitly, local variable, instance variable, names are same. If you want to access instance variable, required. Okay. At the time, this dot explicitly we have to write. Can we write this dot in a class method? No. Can we write in a static block? No. Static doesn't allow. Static method, static initialization block do not refer this keyword in any way. Implicitly not possible, explicitly also not possible. You cannot write. Okay. This dot, can we write second line, third line? Yes. This bracket semicolon, what it will do? It calls default constructor of current class, same class, current class. Will it come implicitly? No, it will not come implicitly. Okay. Can we write second line? No, it should be first line only. These arguments, what it will do? It calls parametered constructor. Okay. Now, will it come implicitly? No. Can we write second line? No. See, this dot, you can write first line, second line, third line, anywhere. But these two must be first line only. In these two, one only you can write. Two also you cannot write. Okay. One only you can write. Now, this refers object reference or reference variable you can call. Object refers current object. Now, you studied static keyword. What is static keyword? Modifier. Why we are calling modifier? It modifies the behavior. Which behavior? Variable, method, class, block. See, here variable, here method, here block. We can also write class. That is inner class. That is later. Nested top level class. By using static keyword, what we can create? Class variables, static blocks, class methods, nested top level classes, inner classes. Okay. Now, when we have to write instance variable, when we have to write class variable, if the value is different, instance variable. If the value is same, class variable. When we have to write instance method, when we have to write class method. This question repeatedly I didn't ask you, observe. When we have to write, then instance method. Otherwise, class method. This point I didn't ask repeatedly. That's what you are not giving answers. Okay. So, instance method and class method. When we have to use instance method, if the class contains instance variable, otherwise class method. So just you need to check instance variable is there or not. Instance variable is there, instance method. Otherwise, like that you select. Okay. Main method, is it instance method or class method? Main method is class method. Suppose main method is class method. Main method is class method. How many ways to access class method? How many ways not recommended? When we have to use directly? When we have to use class name? Another class. Okay. Now, assume main method is non-static. Assume it is not there. Assume if it is main method is non-static, what is the problem? See. Now, it is instance method or class method? No. Instance method. How many ways to access? What are those? For calling main method also object required. Then where you will create? That is the reason they given static. They given static. Then what will happen? At the command prompt Java demo will write here while executing Java program Java demo. The demo nothing but class name, and with that class main method called. So implicitly here it is nothing but dot main like this. Java demo we are writing. Then dot main it is going to call. With class name it is called. Okay. If main method is non-static, for calling main method also object required. Then where you will create object, how will supply object? That is the reason they given. One more thing. If you don't write main method, if you write only static block, program not compiled, error comes. It is not possible. Main method compulsory, Java 7 onwards. But before Java 7, with static block also program executed. But nowadays it is changed. Compulsory main method. Now, Java 7, before Java 7, only with static block also program executed. But now if you compile and execute, it will ask. See, compilation, syntactically correct, but execution time main method. See, pub here, please define main method as. It is asking to write main method like this. Okay, it is not executed. That is before Java 7, it is executed. But Java 7 onwards changed. Main method mandatory. If you want to run the application and operating system, mandatory. They changed. Starting it worked. JDK 1.7 before. Now Java 20 latest version. Now 21 also coming this month. Okay. Whatever required to learn encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, that part you studied. But just one more concept left, arrays. That is, we'll see tomorrow. How many people completed 2 assignments? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 members. Online students. Just you try to compile, try to complete. Tomorrow I'll explain. Tomorrow I'll explain about assignment programs also. Okay. We'll see continuation tomorrow. Online student, wait 2 minutes. I'll clarify your doubts.